let's talk about the property information sheet. There may be some duplicate information on here, but please fill it in because it saves time and it goes to various people to be able to put this package together to make sure that you have a successful auction sale. You need the property address, city and county, state, and zip code, neighborhood, subdivision, the zoning, directions, very important, owners per deed, LIBOR, folio, and date recorded of the deed, lot size, annual taxes, assessment amount, approximate square feet of the house, approximate square feet of the land, whether it's a ground rent or whether it's in fee simple. As you know, ground rent means that someone else owns the ground, but they own the house. It has nothing to do with the ownership of the house. It's just a way of being able to sell the property where someone else owns the ground and collects a fee for having put up the money for the ground. In fee means that they own it outright. There's no other claim to the ground. House style, whether it's cottage, whether it's a brick, whether it's a contemporary, type of construction, brick, block, aluminum siding, age, approximate age, number of bedrooms, number of full baths, number of half baths, type of fuel, whether it's oil, electric, propane, gas, type of heat, whether it's forced air or whether it's radiant heat, whether it's in the floor, and if it has central air conditioning. Basement, whether it's full, half size, crawl space, none at all, whether it's finished. Garage, whether it's attached or detached. Number of cars, and approximate size. Swimming pool, in ground, above ground. Tennis court, other outbuildings. It's a waterfront property. You need to know whether it's right on the water, how deep is the tide, mean low tide at the pier or at the ground itself, whether it's a water view or if it's in a community where it's water privileged and that they have access or if they need to join a club. Public water or whether it's public sewer, public gas or whether it's well or septic. Bottled gas, which has to do with the heating or running the gas stove or things of that nature. Any other special features the property may have. Inclusions, what goes with the property. Exclusions, what does not go with the property. If this is a rental property, please attach a current rental income schedule. If this is a lot, please attach any and all covenants or easements that may run with the property. If this is a condo, you will need to attach a copy of the condo documents and the fees. Condominiums cannot transfer unless the new buyer has a copy of the documents, and without the copy of the documents at signing of the contract, he has the right to rescind his offer on that property. If this is a business opportunity, meaning we're selling the restaurant as a going business along with the real estate, you need to have a list of the equipment that's going with the property and any income information as to the operation of the business. The owner will warrant to express auctioneers that the information shown on this property information sheet is true and correct. Such information is believed to be accurate but is not guaranteed by the auction company or any representative. It's for informational purposes only. In this module, we'll learn about legal obligations when selling at auction, auction terms and conditions. Legal responsibilities explained. Proof of ownership. Whatever you're selling, you need to make sure that the person signing your contract has the obligation and the right to sell that property. This is usually done by having a copy of the deed so you can verify that they are the true owners of it. A deed of trust is the item that is held by the mortgage company that shows that there is a lien on the property. There's also an estate sale where you have an appointed executor. You must make sure that the executor has the right to sell that property and has been appointed by the probate court. The property can have a mortgage on it, and if it does have a mortgage on it, it will be paid off at settlement, so the seller does not have to worry about prepaying prior to the auction sale. It will be clear title when the property is paid off at settlement. Another obligation that is responsibility of the buyer is if there's any kind of hazardous materials on the premises. If the seller knows about it, you need to disclose it, but if there is some there, you don't have to worry about cleanup prior to the auction. You must allow for an inspection as asked by the buyer. The buyer has the right at any time at their expense to go to the property, have a professional inspect the property, and give them the report. They own the report and they do not have to give it to the seller if they don't want to. The beauty of selling at auction sale is it's sold as is, where is. You don't have to worry about any fix-up costs. You don't have to worry about anything happening with the property that you have to take care of as a seller. You sell it as is, where is, which is the greatest thing about selling at auction. It's one of the most powerful words in real estate or any other property sale. You only have to reveal what you know. And if you don't know a lot, then you can't reveal a lot. You're not responsible for anything after the fact. This means that if you've sold a property at auction sale with the as is, where is clause in the contract, and the heating system fails or the septic system fails, it will be the buyer's responsibility to take care of that problem. All known defects in a transaction you must reveal. If you know about them, you have to reveal them. It's only courtesy and the proper way to do business. The property is readily inspected. You can have registered bidders can inspect the property. Now we're going to talk about auction terms and conditions. This is the greatest part of the auction part of the selling of property. Only bidders providing guaranteed funds may bid at the auction. It must be in the form of cashier's checks, certified funds, a bank letter of guarantee. Normally the deposit is 10% of the expected selling price, as determined by the auction company. And sold as is, where is, where the seller can say the date and time when they're going to sell it and then what the date of settlement will be. Seller sets the terms and conditions. That means that the seller would like to stay in the property longer than normal. An example of that would be we sold a waterfront property on the Eastern Shore, and the seller wanted to sell it in June, which was the height of the season for waterfront property selling, but vacated in December. So you had 4 or 5 months of use of the property after you'd sold it. It's an all-cash transaction. The property is not subject to financing. There's no contingencies in the contract. And it's sold in its existing condition, and there's no extra cost to the seller. The seller gets the net amount bid at the auction sale that they accept. Buyer signs a one-page contract. There's not 10 or 15 contracts to review or go through. It's just one page saying, I agree to buy the property, I agree to buy it as is, where is, and I will take it on these terms and conditions. Buyer receives and signs a full terms and conditions sheet. In the information packet, we provide the full terms and conditions as which the buyer is buying under, and they've already previewed them and are familiar with them. It's pretty much the same. Sold as is, where is, and I agree to buy it on these terms and conditions. Copies of all documents are available on our website in PDF form. This is the end of the Legal Responsibility and Terms and Conditions module. Remember, you are not giving legal advice. Advise the seller to consult an attorney for any and all legal matters. All information is testable. Feel free to review this module as many times as you wish. When you're satisfied, please continue on to the next module.